Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're Team Chevere from Chulalongkorn University. You might be wondering what Chevere means. Chevere is actually a Spanish word meaning cool in English, and we chose this name because we think that we're cool and excellent in every way. Today, we'd like to tell you more about our strategies, techniques, and what we've learned from the game. In order to succeed in this very competitive business world, many business owners try to scale their companies by doing more. More products, more services, more quantity. The question is that really the best thing to do? Well, for us, Chevere, we have a different attitude and we'd like to share it with you all today. But first, let's take a look at our company profile. This is the information from the most recent game that we played. At the beginning of the game, we started off with the initial capital of 2.5 million baht. And we produced about 16% and purchased about 83% from all the products that we sold. And at the end of the game, the total sales increased to about 180 baht with a net profit of 36 million baht. Or in other words, we were able to generate up to about 20% of profit margin in 4 months. Now you may be wondering, what is the key success of our group? Well, after a few tries with the game, we've come up to an agreement with the concept less is more. To most people, less is more simply means the ability to do less while creating more value. But for us, the word less actually stands for our strategy. LESS for the first letter L stands for lean. The second letter E stands for efficiency. The third letter S is for sales insight, and last but not least, letter S is for synergy. Now let's take a look at each of the letter, starting by the first one, L or lean.
Okay, the first thing I would like to mention is producing. Normally, we choose to produce goods since cost of goods manufacture is lower than cost of goods purchase. This is because the more goods we produce, the lower fixed cost per unit we have to pay due to economy of scale. However, this is not always the case. Sometimes producing can be as expensive as purchasing. As you can see from the chart, in the cost of producing material, the producing cost is lower than purchasing cost, only 1 baht per unit. So it might be better to utilize the machine on other products that have a higher margin because the machine can produce only 1 product per day.
The next thing we like to mention is retail management. You might be wondering how we operate our retails to meet customers' demand and to reduce value wasting activities. First, for procurement, in normal demand in weekdays, we usually use blanket purchase order to purchase our goods because we know exactly when goods will arrive and it can be adapted to our business properly. A second method that we use to purchase our goods is future delivery. Because we know that there will be an extra demand during holiday. For example, if we know that there will be an extra demand from 128 to 131, we decided to order goods from on day 122, and goods will be arrived on day 127. Next, push versus pull strategy. In our company, when we do wholesales, we do not produce a large amount of goods, but we do not produce a large amount of goods, put them in our stock and try to push them out to the market. But we apply a pull strategy. We try to attract our customer by offering good price deals, and when we win the bid, we will start producing. We start producing in response to their needs, and that way we can save rental costs and optimize our cash flow.
Alright, let's move on to the next section, which is E or efficiency. Okay, the first thing I would like to mention here is careful management. Even though it seems like a little thing, but actually how we manage careful can determine the whole game. At the beginning of the game, we usually don't have a large amount of money. In this game, we have only 2.5 million baht. So what we do is we invest that money in retail store and finished goods. And once we have enough money, we will start to investing in wholesale by buying machines and raw materials.
Now, let's talk about human resource. Human resource is one of the most important functions that drive our business. We devote great attention to the people we hire. Normally, when operate our business, employees would have some issues that we need to counsel them in order to solve their problems. Keep a good relationship with them and maintain a competent and experienced personnel. So, if we decide to dismiss or wait until they resign, we will have to hire new employee, which costs 15,000 baht per person. And if that person doesn't have 100% competency, we have to train them and pay another 15,000 baht per person. Then, as you can see that consulting would be the most cost-saving option. It costs only 2,000 baht per person, and sometimes it is also difficult to find people that our needs is better to consult at the first sight.
Let's move on to the next lesson is sales insight. Our core marketing strategy is understanding customer needs. We know that customers in each region have a different need, so we try to use the right marketing to the right person. Moreover, we try to separate our product into 3 groups that can help us to determine what should we do to manage our business. As you can see from the pie chart, on day 70 at Bangkok branch, tuna is the best-selling product. And it has a high potential growth. So we determine that this is a star in our business. So we push more marketing and to get more sales. While mackerel has a moderate sales revenue and moderate growth potential, so we determine that this is a cash cow. So we pay for marketing less just to maintain our steady income and market share. If we have another product that has a little revenue or small market share, we will consider to stop selling it.
Now, let's talk about last letter, synergy. Synergy stands for, synergy simply means the combination of 2 things or more to create a greater impact. Now let's talk about the bottom one. If wholesale and production staff communicate with each other, they will be able to increase sales and improve their performance and also optimize cash flow. Now, you
Sorry. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Before I start the interview process, the thing should be inside the room, must be inside the room. I hope you know what I mean. We are playing the fairy games, right? The thing must be inside the room, must be inside the room. Understood? Thank you. So your turn to the judge. Microphone. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, you say that you have done the BPO and the future delivery, right?
yes.
I don't know which one. Yeah. Which one is better for your business? What did you learn from this? Between BPO and future delivery, what give the best result to your business?
Well, for the future delivery, it has a strength, constraint, because if we do future delivery, you have to order in advance for 5 days. So let's say you order something on day 10, you have to wait until day 15 in order to for the order to arrive.
But in terms of pricing, in terms of
So, but if
cost,
it's about the same
It's
for
about the
both
same.
ways, but BPO doesn't. You don't have to wait for 5 days.
all right. So why don't you just choose BPO as your main strategy for product purchasing?
So normally we usually use BPO for normal demand, but sometimes during the weekends or holidays there's extra demand. That's when we use future delivery. So like if we know we can predict that the holiday is coming up in 5 days, we can do future delivery to make that order come just in time before the holiday comes.
Okay, and next question is about the push and pull strategy. You said that you have done both push and pull strategy, and which one is suitable for, which one is better in terms of service in wholesale and retail business?
Okay, so usually we use push strategy for retail store. So like we buy goods in and stock up, and then we try to push them out to the market, do marketing and stuff. But for B2B or wholesales, we usually do pull marketing because it is quite hard to predict demand, and it depends on the amount that you can bid, that you get from bid. So like if you produce too much, you have to stock up too much and have to pay for rental costs a lot. But if you do pull, you wait until you win the bid and then produce. That way you don't have to stock a lot.
Okay, and the last question from me is, for your efficiency, you're saying that you're opening the shop, the retail shop first. Why don't you start with the wholesale before retail?
Because it depends on the configuration of the game too. For the most recent one, we only had about 2.5 million baht at the beginning of the game, and that is really hard to buy a lot of finished good to stock up and sell B2B. And production also costs a lot. You have to invest in machines and raw materials, and that's a lot of initial capital fund. So we usually started off with retail, and then once we gain more cash flow, we use that money to invest in production.
Did you just put marketing, advertising into the cost for the retail? Because that is a must for retail business.
Yes.
Okay. From your page 6, you mentioned that one machine only can produce one product per day, right? And what make you have two choice, tuna and sardine. What are the factors that you choose to produce what and why?
First of all, like I said before, that we're doing pull strategy, so it depends on which product you got from the bid. So if you get, usually we try to bid for the product that has higher margin, and if we get that product, we win the bid, we will start producing that product. But if not, we will choose the second highest profit margin. So we usually do like two options and try to get those two. But yeah, either one of them is good for us.
From three of you, if you were to identify three top key operational items in your organization that made you successful, what were these three things that you had to pay close attention to?
So three things that we pay most attention to, is that right?
Yes.
Usually we would pay a lot of attention on cost management, because that plays the most important role in our business. If you can control cost, you can generate a lot of cash flow, and you can use that cash flow in other value-added functions. So like if you can save costs from production, you can use that money investing in retails and generate more income. So the second thing that we usually pay attention is efficiency. So usually when we buy the machines, we would think first how much we can produce. We don't just buy the machine and then let it sit around for nothing. We usually think first, are we going to use it? Are we going to be able to utilize the machine wisely? So that we can improve the efficiency. And last but not least, we pay a lot of attention on human resource, which is a really important factor in business. If we have
if you don't communicate, for example, like wholesale staff don't communicate with retail staff, wholesale bid too much, then production staff and wholesale staff don't communicate, and wholesale staff bid too much, there will not be enough inventory in the warehouse, and company could not deliver product in time, so we could be fined from that, and we have to pay for cost.
One more question. I haven't heard in your presentation. Can you describe your customer? What made you anticipate whether to use push or pull, and anticipate the holidays and the demand? What are the characteristics of your market that makes you anticipate what they need at certain times of the period?
Usually, as we all know that this is consumer goods, and when we do the marketing, we can kind of tell that this product is price sensitive or less price sensitive. So let's say if we push marketing into one product and we get a lot of sales income from it, we can kind of tell that consumer perception is pretty good, because even though you try to push more marketing or increase the price, they still want your product. But on the other hand, for some stores, for some of our retail stores, when you increase the price up for maybe only 1 baht and push more marketing, the sales starts to drop down. You can kind of tell that maybe this product is not really the best. Maybe the dog or the customer is more price sensitive.
Yes, ma'am. You take time.
If you would go back to the game or to your business, what would you correct your strategy?
time, we would try to generate more income from retail. Because if we can
Excuse me, from which and from retail, because now you have you got the product mix, which is sardine, mackerel, and tuna. Which one will you push the volume up the sales and marketing and effort?
If we can turn back time, we would choose to sell more tuna in retail store because tuna is the product that has the most potential growth. So we can push more marketing and then get more income from this product. And then if we can generate the more income we can generate from this product, the sooner or faster we can start investing in wholesale, which actually generates more revenue for the whole company.
Thank you. That's all for me.
That's all. That's all for you. Thank you.
Thank you.